Day number 6, today we're talking about goal setting, all right? So goal setting is super important if you want to become a Jacked Genius. You need to understand that if you don't set measurable goals, you're not going to get anywhere in life. So let's start with big goals, because the big goals we can work down from the big goals. So hypothetically, since we all want to become Jacked Geniuses here, we want to be strong, smart, and social. So I decided to make 3 excellent examples here of a strong goal hitting 225 on bench, a smart goal reading 24 books, and a social goal talking to 100 girls. All right? That's our year goal, okay? End of year goal. Let's say it's January 1st. In 1 week from today, what can you do that's going to start getting you to those goals? All right? So our starting weight on bench press is 185, and we've read 0 books and we've talked to 0 girls. So how can we get to these goals, right? Well, we have to pace ourselves. We have to understand that nothing comes quick, because everything that comes quick is usually bad for you, okay? So what can you do the first week? I hit 185 pounds on my max. So I want to do this every 3 days. I want to get used to hitting that max without overstimulating myself. Every 3 days, you go in the gym and you try and hit your 185. So like that, you're forcing your muscles to have a little bit more stimulus, right? So that's just a very specific example, but what I'm trying to tell you guys here is the progression of how you want these goals to go. Next, in 3 weeks, you want to be able to pause 205 pounds, okay? So that's gonna be your next goal. Obviously, it's in the middle, and by 3 months, you wanna hit 185 for 10 reps. So your previous max 3 months ago for 10 reps. Obviously, going from this jump is not gonna take a year. I'm just giving it as a pure example. What I'm trying to say is you need to have goals that are slightly harder that get you to your end goal. The progression, if you will, okay? Same thing with the books here, but they always have to be quantifiable, okay? So here I said 0 books, I want to read 24 books by the end of the year. Obviously that means I need to read 2 books a month. But my first week, I can't obviously read 1 book, because I need at least 3 weeks or 2 weeks to read the first book. So my goal is gonna be to identify those 24 books. Try and find the books that I want. And by the first week, if I've identified those 24 books, then I'm good to go. I've completed the goal. The next 3-week goal is I need to be reading 60 pages a day, okay? Every day 60 pages in order to actually understand the pace, okay? See how these goals are very different from just reading a book, right? There are specific requirements that obviously means I'm reading a book, but it means I'm reading it at a certain speed, okay? And so by 3 months, I have a check-in saying I must have read 6 books if I've done these 2 things correctly, okay? Same thing with girls, right? Here, I want to talk to 100 girls, but obviously, you have to start strong. You can't start weak. So the first week is going to be tough. You need to talk to 10 girls in 1 week. So you go up to them, talk to them, get embarrassed, and build your confidence through that, right? The 3-week goal should be you get 1 successful date. You go out and you get a girl to go out with you, or you do something fun together. It doesn't necessarily have to be a date. Just an example to say, okay, I've talked to 10 girls, for sure 1 of them is gonna get me a date, okay? And then by month 3, you wanna have 3 new friends that are girls, okay? So they can tell you, they can talk to you, and you guys can just be friends, right? That's your goal. Notice how it's not 50 girls or 40 girls talk to you, right? It's always a different goal, but it's within the yearly goal, okay? Because like that, you keep your mind busy and you actually look forward to the goal, okay? So understand that once you make your big goals right here, you want to start small and work your way up, okay? That's usually the progress, but make sure your goals are quantifiable, man, okay? If your goals are not quantifiable, if I would have said, I want to bench more, I want to read more, and I want to get more girls, it's not going to work. You're never going to actually understand what that goal is until you quantify it into some sort of number or some sort of action, okay? So this is the way you set goals. I hope you guys understood what I'm trying to say here. If you guys want to be a Jacked Genius, this is the only way to set proper goals. I'm sure there's other ways as well, but this is the way that I used in order to achieve what I wanted year after year, okay? And if you pair that with with the discipline that I was talking about before and all those steps that get you to have high standards and good non-negotiables, and you pair this with these goals, you're unstoppable, okay? So, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for another one.